Hello everybody, welcome back to Back Out of the Case. This is Skyflight44, aka Zek44. Today I'm playing some more Lord of the Rings The Third Age, and well, my audio screwed up, and every single video I had from parts 14 to 17, Audacity did not have a good day. Oh, it did not have a good day at all. And so, I'm going to be doing parts 14 through 17 a bit more different. Number one, the post commentary, because I don't feel like going through another 7 hours of the game again. Is holy crap. The actual audio looked perfect until I actually started listening to some of the parts. Stupid computer. Two, I'm actually going to be going and cutting out things such as any kind of menu. I don't really want to go and talk about anything in the menus. And some of the actual battles I'm going to be cutting out. Mainly the battles that I wouldn't actually care to really commentate over, like some of the random battles. Because this chapter that we're actually coming up to is very short. It's a breather chapter. Mainly because I've actually, I've played the game a couple of times. I know the in and outs of the game. I kind of set myself up pretty well. Not the best, but I have set myself up pretty well. And one of the rewards for this this evil mode part. Oh, why was I just stopping that way? No idea what I was doing yesterday in this, but one of the items that we're actually going to get for this evil mode, one of the rewards, is really good reward. Really amazing reward. And it's going to turn Idriel from somebody who's... I said she was a crutch character. And yet, her usefulness goes down, then it shoots back up. And then it starts going down again. Then you get another item, and it shoots right back up. Idriel, her damage output, her swords really aren't good enough to really do too much damage. Her actual, her spear powers are kind of going down in power. And for the most part, she doesn't have, except for like Gilgalad Rampage, which, was it 4? Or was it just 3 hits? Her swordcraft really doesn't allow her to actually attack too many times. So she's not really all that much of a damage dealer anymore like she was at the very beginning of the game. However, we're going to be getting an item which will completely change that. Now, this actual fight here, didn't have to talk about the first one, but that one was easy as hell. But this one right here is actually pretty annoying if you're actually not paying too much attention, and you have to be a bit lucky. Granted, this isn't the Chapter 4 evil mode. That one can be just straight out dickish. But this one, before this, there was an actual, there was a little, like a drummer goblin, that once all 3 of your actual dudes, or one of the 3 goblins on the, that are, front row, close up to the heroes, when they were dead, 2 turns, then the goblin on the act near the drum would drum, and then more would come out. You don't have that. You do not have that luxury in this fight. If your guys, any of them die, you're screwed. What are you going to want to do? Get rid of Hadhad immediately. Every one of them can actually do a good amount of damage. But can do even more damage than the rest of them with Goblin Bane. immediately go for Dark Escape and stun them. Granted, it's not going to be it's not going to be the easiest thing to do if they actually get pretty good. If they get a lot of turns in, especially if they focus fire, which is the only saving grace you have. But like you should probably have already guessed, stun one of them and attack Elagast. Elagast, one of the big things about Eva mode, I probably said this before, but going and playing the game through on Edge of Strike the game, with your actual heroes, you're finding out both how your heroes actually work, how the which armors are actually good, what kind of weaknesses do they actually have, what kind of skills do they actually have, how can you actually go and use those skills effectively, and also you're learning all about your enemies too. However, you for the most part it's not so much unless it's some of those dire, like very hard kind of fights. You have plenty of ways to actually beat it. And that's actually quite a lot of fun. You can stall, you can do a lot of things to actually just make yourself stronger, to come out of the battle stronger. But in Eva mode, you don't have that. The heroes have a lot of skills that they can do. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. You need to use all the info you've already have from all the skills that the Eva mode the enemies actually use, what their weaknesses are, and you have to target your heroes, the heroes' weaknesses, or for the most part, you're going to actually, you're most likely actually going to die. They're, especially later ones, they're not fucking around. However, it's though it actually turns a bit more into an actual puzzle boss, maybe not a puzzle boss, but like a puzzle fight, in which you're really supposed to be finding like maybe one or two ways of actually winning, because there's really only one or two ways to safely win comfortably. But this is actually another one that can go bad, really, really bad. Hadhod can do some damage, Barathor can do damage, and Elagast can do damage. You have trolls. Here's the thing, though. They're not smart enough to actually attack the drummer troll. And for the most part, they're not smart enough to actually use its crippling moves. If they did that, you would have a lot of actual problems here. But we don't. I mean, look, already the cave troll is pretty much halfway dead. But since they were stupid enough not to actually try to go and kill off the drummer troll, it's not going to mean a damn thing. See, the drummer troll can heal, the drummer troll can actually hasten, and also has a mild spirit attack in which it attacks everybody. Only does maybe like around 200 or less damage, but it attacks everybody. If one of your trolls goes down, this is going to be a much harder fight. Cave troll won't actually be able to go and really won't be able to heal itself. It'll go down pretty quickly. And the drummer troll can't do too much, can't do enough damage to actually really survive. But both of them together means instant win. Though, in this one, whichever one you're actually going to want to take out really changes. Barathor can do a lot of different hits with like Exelian Wrath or Citadel Rage. Hadhod can do quite a bit, but Hadhod can also use his spirit powers. And unless you've really been trying to go for spirit powers, which is one of the better things about Hadhod in Evil mode, the AI the computer doesn't want to actually go and use like set up his stats so that they're more focused on actual and the spear powers. But if you're not using elf stones for the spear powers as well, he's not going to be all that good with them. So if he actually goes and uses them, oh, that's good for you because, well, they're nowhere near as damaging as his actual physical attacks are just like regularly. You don't have to work to get his physical attacks to hurt. Oh, that sucks. Stone shield though. Ah, oh, damn. Oh well. That's not going to be too much for a troll. But one of the actual, we actually got a couple of, maybe not a couple of elf stones, but one of the elf stones we actually got was a, for beating the Balrog, was a actual elf stone of, what was it, shadow or something? Whatever it was. Oh, Shadowcraft. It's something you're going to want to use. You may not really use it in a normal playthrough, especially an easy playthrough, but in a hard playthrough, it's going to be necessary. I'll tell you why in a little while. Let's just go and see this. Remember how long it took me to beat the Balrog? One, I didn't think it was actually going to work out that way. To be honest, if I knew that was going to take 20 minutes, I would have split that video up. I would have had the Balrog have its own video and just do the Evo mode with it. But, damn. Trying to go and beat the party, the fellow, not fellowship, but your party in Gandalf is quite easy because the Balrog does a shitload of damage. And it's not just that. The Balrog's attacks, Roaring Inferno, especially Pillar of Wrath, also take out your opponent's AP, completely, absolutely destroying them. But one of the things that the AI won't actually do, which you actually have to, you generally get to use, is items. Items really can make a difference in battle. Not too much. I mean, your spirit powers and your just your regular abilities will always be generally better. But things like Waters of Lorien, or the Satchel of Old Tabi, stuff like that. Really good, really good. You know, full health, full AP, and even throwing out an Elfstone now and again. That's great. We just got a cracked Elfstone, a spear and enhancement. You have no idea how much that is going to benefit us. Remember Idriel's Loud War Fury doing about 1,000 damage, maybe 1,200 damage at the most? That's going to change. Now, like I said before, I'm actually going to be cutting out all of the actual menus, so you're not really going to see me putting any armor on, moving any elf stones, and really talking about the skills. I'm going to have to do that in battle now.
A company of Uruk-hai passed this way.
What of the party from Rivendell?
It's difficult to tell. Wait. Here.
You should not scout so far ahead. These lands are filled with danger.
Have you been following us?
For many days. Your companion requested it.
Yes. I cannot protect all of you all of the time.
I am perfectly able to defend myself.
I have buried others who spoke those words.
I thank you for your aid. How may I be of service?
We must cleanse these gullies. Help me assemble patrols so we may cut past the rear guard of Uruk-hai.
Yeah. I can't wait until we get to show up that Elfstone. Holy shit. You're going to see a huge damage increase with that. But that is absolutely nothing to what the actual polished Elfstone, a spear enhancement, will do. Oh, nothing will beat that. Okay. Fun little thing. No longer are we going to be facing goblins. We're going to be facing Urukai. These are just the scouts. The Urukai will actually change how they look in between some of the coming chapters. Specifically, the 6th chapter, they look a bit very, very different. But I'm just gonna say that they're after one of the big things about Moria. That's just looking at Moria, actually looking through all the environments, and it's actually a really good looking place. I really think the development team did a great job with it. I mean, the entire game looks just really interesting and really nice looking. But the actual having to go through. Oh yeah. At this point, I was actually talking about Weeping Blade. If you actually look down there, my attack is actually replaced with Weeping Blade. It's basically the same thing as attack, no AP cost. However, also do damage over time. This will actually go and different actual swords, weapons will actually have different little added effects. I said this before. And counterattacking will also go and use those same effects. It won't transfer to your own skills, but anytime you'd use a regular attack or counterattack, which is based off of the attack, that effect will actually work. That will means if you actually have one, they'll actually go and what was it called? If you actually have one, that would actually go and heal yourself, steal health from the enemy. You can actually go and you can pretty much anytime you counterattack, you can basically get full health. But what I was talking about, Moria. Moria goes on for us about 5+ hours. The game just looks pretty good. Actually, if I didn't talk so much, probably would have been around 4 to 4.5 hours. But well, that's if you're going pretty quickly. But going and facing off against the same enemies for that entire time, and their moves really not changing too much.
Small group fights well. Find all of my elves, Gondorian, and we shall be strong enough to fight our way out of this maze of rock.
Having to actually go and fight the same goblins that don't change at all, over and over and over for hours, sucks so much.
Rohan's warriors must use that cave as an outpost.
It would appear they suffer heavy casualties defending their frontier.
How do we find a way inside?
Deeper in the ravines we shall find it.
Yeah, we're not going to be going that way just now. Trust me. We're actually going to be going to the fun part. Before I get back on that Moria topic, this area, generally in the middle of the area, if you actually, the middle part of this entire East Eminent Gullies area, generally is stuck with orcs and more orcs. On the right side, the side with the actual warg, with the caves with the actual wargs, it's basically just going to be wargs and more orcs. However, if you're actually going on the west side, you're going to be facing a lot more Urukai. And given how much I like Urukai to begin with, we're going to be going that way. However, one of the things you may want to, know is the Urukai are definitely harder to kill. Granted, I did say this was a breather area, in which it was actually this entire part, this entire chapter is very, very much a breath of fresh air. But going back on that little Moria talk, if it wasn't for the fact that we were basically facing off against for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, the same goblins, and then the only thing that changed between Western Moria and Eastern Moria is the fact that they got more health, and if anything else, the wargs disappeared for the trolls. To be honest, I would have actually liked the trolls to have at least some troll encounters in the beginning of, like Western Moria, and at the same time, some warg encounters, some warg encounters in the Eastern Moria, just to liven it up. It was goblins after goblins after goblins. And generally, especially in the second Eastern Warrior part, they weren't doing anything. They were going down too fast. Granted, that's actually one of the problems with this area, because I set myself up pretty good. This isn't going to be hard at all. We're going to be kicking these guys' ass completely. I mean, if you actually look at Idriel, her Loudwater Fury went from doing like 1,000 to what, 3,500? Actually, at the very end of this, it pretty much can do 4,000 damage at the very end of this chapter. It will actually destroy one of the Urukai swords easily. But some of the things about the actual Urukai here is the orcs that we actually faced before generally couldn't do much. Even the regular ones really couldn't do much. The orc sword couldn't do much, the goblin sword couldn't do much, but the Urukai sword can actually go and stun you with Staggering Slash. Now, the veterans can actually wound you, have the bleeding effect, and bleeding effect makes you actually take damage over time. It's not all too bad, trust me, but they are a bit better than a lot of the actual Urukai units can actually do status effects, can do more than just one thing. Now, we actually have Mountain Shield now. Mountain Shield is basically Stone Shield except on everybody. And that's amazing. It's worth the 200 AP you have to use to actually get the Mountain Shield up. Especially, and something like this. Generally before, it's just one turn, and oh yeah, that's right, counterattacks. Yeah, we're going to be facing a lot of those. A lot of the time. But, what was it called? Mountain Shield basically does one actual, in one turn, for 25 less AP generally, it'll actually get up stone shields on everybody. When you have the fourth extra party member, it'll actually be for, one turn and 100 less than getting the 4 stone shields up. However, one thing I'm going to be saying about the actual Mountain Shield is, if you're not, it's best to actually go and use it when you need to use it. Like, just a little while ago, both Barathor and Idriel very well could have died. Using Mountain Shield basically would have, well, saved them both. In which Idriel could actually go and heal Barathor, and she's probably going to heal herself. If not, I don't really have to, maybe I don't have to do too much. Oh, no, she is going to heal herself. But, one thing that we actually haven't come across yet is the, Urukai Captain. The Uruk Captain is going to show us an actual status effect that you're not going to want ever you're going to want to have it for yourself. But remember the damaging shield I was talking about, and what you actually attacked? And if you attacked somebody with damaging shield up, you would take just as much damage as they would. Kind of like the opposite effect of the stealing health, draining health moves that you actually have in this game. And trust me, it hurts. Why did we... I was talking about the Shadow... Elfstone Shadowcraft. Basically, that gives you Dispel. And you're sure as hell going to want to use Dispel on anything with devastating shield or damaging shield up. You're never going to want that to happen because... Especially when you have counterattack and you counterattack somebody with that. It's going to leave you with 1 health for the most part. Exactly the same way that if you would have stole health with counterattack, you would have most likely regained all your health. See everybody.